Hi everyone, it's Mashi. Today our lesson is going to be on an introduction to algebra. We will be working on solving some basic equalities or equations, specifically looking at the operations of addition and subtraction. This lesson is going to introduce to you some vocabulary and some strategies to solve equations, which will be very useful later in the next couple of weeks when we start going over more difficult problems. All right, let's get started. All right, so this is our first problem. 3 plus 12 equals x minus 3. Now, what we're trying to do here is we are trying to solve for x. X is an unknown number or an unknown value, also known as a variable. Sometimes you will see x, and other times you might see your problem written like this. 3 plus 12 equals box minus 3. The box and the x both are the variables or the unknown number that we're trying to solve for. Regardless if you have an x or a box, the first step in order to solve an equation or an equality is to solve the side without the variable. In this case, the side without the variable is the left side of the equal sign. Okay? So 3 plus 12, that's pretty easy. We can solve that mentally. The answer here is 15. Now, after you solve the side without the variable, go ahead and rewrite the other side just so that you can keep all of your information organized and so you kind of know what you're doing. The second step that you're going to need to do after you solve the side without the variable is you need to try and get x all by itself. Okay, that's the variable. Remember, x all by itself by using inverse operations. So we're trying to pretty much get x alone. I know, it's sad, it doesn't seem right, but that's the purpose of this. We're trying to solve for the unknown number. Okay, so looking at our problem so far, 15 equals x minus 3. I'm trying to get x all by itself, all alone. So what am I going to have to do to get rid of the minus 3 part? Okay, think. What is the inverse of subtraction? I'll wait. The inverse of subtraction, I'm hoping you all remember, would be addition. So we're actually going to add 3 to both sides, because please do remember, we've talked about this before, what you do on one side of the equal sign, in order to keep it equal, you have to do on the other side. So now we have 18 over here, and we have x. So we're thinking that x equals 18, but you are not done yet, because the last step is check your work. People, I cannot stress this enough. When you're doing algebra, it is so imperative, that means important, that you check your work. Okay? If you check your work and you're finding that it is not equivalent or equal on both sides of the equal sign, something went wrong. And you have various test-taking strategies that you can do in order to fix it, okay? So let's go ahead. Here's our original problem right here. We had 3 plus 12 equals x minus 3. We solved and said that x equals 18, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to solve both sides. I've plugged in the 18 here back into that x right there, because we're saying that x equals 18. So here we go. 3 plus 12 is 15. 18 minus 3 is 15. Bingo, bango, bazinga. We have won the lottery. I'm going to the bank. I'm going to cash it. And I'm probably going to go buy a manatee. And then I'll set it free. Anyways, okay, the goal is to get 15 and 15 on both sides, or both sides of the equal side, or whatever the number is. Say, you have 16 on one side, the goal would be to get 16 on the other side. Okay, your turn. You ready? All right. Okay, so if you're at school, you should have a whiteboard or something ready to go. If you're watching this at home, either as a refresher or you miss the sound of my voice so much, you should have a scrap piece of paper next to you so that you can work through this with me. So, step number 1 was to solve the side without the variable. Who can tell me which side does not have the variable? I'll wait. In this case, it's going to be the left side, okay? I do not see an X. I do not see a box. I just see 2 whole numbers, 23 and 9. Okay, so we're going to solve that side. Go ahead. You should have gotten 32. Now, remember, in order to keep this all organized, you need to rewrite the part of the equation with the variable. I understand some of you might not like to have to do this, but my response to you is too bad. For this introductory lesson, you need to do it the way that I'm asking you to do it. Thank you. Okay, second step is we're going to use inverse operations in order to get X all by himself. I know, he'll be okay. He'll be all right. So I'm looking at this problem and I see 14 plus X. In my mind, I'd think, all right, to get rid of X, I would subtract, right? Yes, but what are you going to subtract? Are you going to subtract 14 or are you going to subtract X? I'll wait. You need to get rid of the 14. So we're going to subtract 14 from the right side and 14 from the left side. So you can't take 4 from 2. You should be solving this as I am solving it. We're going to borrow from the tens place, carry over a 10. X equals 18 again. All right. Now, you are not done yet because who can tell me what is the last step? I'll wait. Say it with me, everybody. Check your work. Excellent. We need to check our work. All right. Here I have our original problem. I have where we have inputted 18 for X and both sides equals 32. So you know what that means, don't ya? That means we have won the lottery. Cha-ching, cha-ching, manatee buying time. Everybody ready? Okay, good. We're going to try one more problem. Clear your boards. Thank you. All right, so here is our problem. I'm going to try and make it a little tricky on you. I'm going to use a box for the variable. 13 minus the box equals 2 plus 5. Okay, go ahead. I'll pause the video. I want you to try and solve this one on your own. Okay, so the first step, remember, is to solve the side you know. Rewrite everything else down. Now at this point, some of you are like, oh, it's 6. I got it. Yay, cool. I want you to think though, all right, what if you had a problem like 1,327 minus box equals, 524? You wouldn't be able to do that in your head. So you have to have the strategies that I've taught you earlier in this video to solve this problem or any type of problem. Okay, so I said we had to use the inverse operation, but I'm looking at this and I see a positive 13. And if I were to subtract 13 from both sides, I would get a negative number over here. And that's, So here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to add a box to both sides. okay, to make everything a positive number. So we should have now 13 equals 7 plus the box. Now we will subtract, and you should have 6 equals the box. But remember, you're not done yet. Let's check our work. Here's our original problem again. We are saying that 6 equals the box. Okay, remember that from the previous screen. So let's go ahead and plug it in. 13 minus 6 equals 2 plus 5. We're going to solve both sides. 7 and 7. We are good. Money sign. All right, so that concludes our lesson for today on solving equalities or basic equations using addition and subtraction. I know that you're going to do just wonderfully with this today in workshop and at home. If you ever need to watch any of my videos, they're on there for you to go back and look through. Multiplication, division, different kinds of division that maybe you haven't seen before. Show your parents, show your friends, spread the word. I'm hoping that this is going to help you. I know that it's going to help you, and I know that you can do it today. So let's go ahead and get started and have fun solving equations.